Hey everybody, welcome back to our early predictions for UFC Fight Night. Rafael Fiziev versus Mateusz Gamrot. Pretty decent card for a fight night. These are our early predictions, our early thoughts. Please like and subscribe, and let's see what we think right off the bat. First fight of the night, we got Montserrat Rendon versus Tamires Vidal. I got to lean Tamires here. She's the more experienced fighter. Montserrat's all decisions, 5-0, 5 decisions. I think 2 or 3 of them are split decisions, very close fights over nobodies. Vidal, not great, but she's been 3 rounds with Carol Rosa. Rosa's not a bad fighter by any means, and she does have some finishing ability. She does have a few finishes. So I'm going to lean Vidal. Won't be some big play or anything, but I think she should win this fight. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the odds kind of suck, though, for Vidal, to be honest with you. Minus 250 for a girl so inexperienced. Not that I'm saying Montserrat Rendon is anything more experienced than she is. I'm just saying, I mean, I see there's a lot of finish equity on Tamires Vidal, but Montserrat Rendon, from what we know, hasn't been finished yet. So you don't know what happens really if Vidal doesn't get the finish right away. I mean, I've seen some decisions on a record, but they're regional decisions, just like Rendon. I feel like this fight is closely lined. It should be a lot closer to more line. It's probably a pass for me. I lean the over, to be honest with you, over 1.5. But gun to my head, I picked Tamires Vidal. But I think I have to do a little bit more. I think Rendon might be enough to hold her off, and this will come down to a split decision, I think. And then who wins? Nobody knows. I mean, should be lined minus 150, minus 140, not minus 250.
I like the over as well. Full disclosure, I don't think we're going to see some flying knee knockout like she did in the
No,
past. This is going
no.
to be a pretty close fight.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, moving on. We got another women's fight. We got Mizuki Inoue versus Hannah Goldy. Mizuki minus 300, Hannah Goldy plus 240. You gotta lean Mizuki here. I mean, she's been to decision with the champ Grasso. She's went all 3 rounds with Amanda Lemos. She's been 3 rounds with a split decision Verna Jandaroba. Like she's fought the way better fighters. Then you look at Hannah Goldy. She's getting knocked out by Molly McCann. So I mean, am I loving any girl at minus 300? That's kind of on the lower level side. No, I mean, it's not some huge play at all, but you want me to pick a winner? I'm going to pick Mizuki here. What do you think?
I think Mizuki's the more well-rounded fighter. Hannah Goldie's got a little bit of ground game on her, American wrestling style. But like you said, the people that Inoue has fought is just far more superior than anything Goldie has ever even sniffed a card of, to be honest with you. So I don't like minus 300, but I feel like Inoue has the tools to win this fight. Aside from getting wrestle fucked and stuck on the bottom, it would probably be the only way that she loses. But yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going to go with Inoue too. But I just don't like the odds.
Yep. All right, moving on. We have one on every card. The heavyweight slobber knocker 50-50 fight. We got Muhammad Usman minus 138 versus Jake Collier plus 110. You got to think Jake has the better hands here, but it seems like the way I picture this in my head is he's going to start good. He's going to be popping the jab, probably beating him up, but I also think he's susceptible to getting knocked out by one shot. So it wouldn't shock me if Usman landed a one-shot knockout while he's losing, or if he utilizes some wrestling to grind out some rounds in the later half, because I think Jake will have the early lead. But honestly, 50-50 fight, zero confidence in this fight. What do you think?
Good dog or pass. Okay, so Muhammad Usman versus what was it? Justin Tafa's brother was the last time. I feel like this is sort of the same fight because Collier is going to start off great, like you said. Hands are way better. The problem is the gas tank. It's not that Muhammad Usman has a better gas tank. It's just that he can manage the gas tank he has a little better than what usually his opponent did. Kind of like what he did in the Tafa fight, because he was losing really early. And then he started to utilize that wrestling, take him down, hold him there, because he didn't have any finishing equity on the ground, right? So if Collier doesn't gas in 2 rounds and could bank 2 rounds and just like survive the third, I can see a grimy heavyweight with overs decision here. But I mean, pound for pound, the better fighter is Jake Collier. Muhammad Usman hasn't shown me much, except for when his opponent does tire, he can wrestle him. So, I mean, the fight's lined pretty well. It probably could be a tiny bit closer, but I see some value on the dog here. The better striker.
Oh yeah.
Not quite the better grappler, but like it's not like Muhammad Usman is going to come out and grapple. He's going to wait till Jake gets tired and then grapple him. But the problem is when he gets grappling, he can't finish on the ground. So I don't know. That's the way I break it down. Now, as for the bet, I don't know. I'd probably go dog or pass, but I hate heavyweights.
It's 50-50 that fight, seriously. All right, moving on. We got Jacob Malkoun versus Cody Brundage. Jacob's minus 500, which seems insane to me. Cody Brundage plus 380. Listen, Brundage stinks. Like, I always bet against him, and I always bet the guy to finish him. If Malkoun had a big punch in him, I would pick Malkoun to knock him out for sure. But this is more of a grappler versus grappler matchup. So I actually think this is going to be kind of a boring fight, battle for top position. I mean, maybe Malkoun can sub him. That wouldn't be shocking by any means, but I don't know. I don't like the matchup. I don't like the odds. If anything, I know Brundage always gets finished, but I think this is over. Like this is going to be a wrestling match. So give me Malkoun, but minus 500. I ain't playing him. What do you think?
Malkoun by decision at minus 500. What do you think it'll be at? Because that's how he wins fights. That's how he wins all his fights. He's supposed to be Robert Whittaker's BJJ coach, I think it is. Is that what the thing is? Is that the
some kind of training partner? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it says. I think he's supposed to be the BJJ coach, but he shows no BJJ. He's like, decisioning Al Razak Al Hassan and decisioning, I think, Phil Haas and decisioning. Oh no, he got knocked out by Phil Haas. Listen, this kind of mirrors the Cody Brundage versus Nick Maximoff fight where Cody Brundage got out wrestled by Nick Maximoff because Nick Maximoff can't do anything more than wrestle. So this kind of mirrors it because I'm not sure that, Malkoun can finish him on the ground because what did he do? Out wrestle Brendan Allen? Was that another one he won? He just out wrestles guys and just stays on top of them for 3 rounds. And that's how he wins. I'm gonna go Malkoun. I'm gonna go. Oh, he lost to Brendan Allen in a decision. I'm gonna go Malkoun by decision because aside from Phil Haas knocking him out, he's been to decision with a lot of power punchers. He decisioned Nick Maximoff, and Nick Maximoff beat Brundage. I'm not using MMA math, but I'm just saying that the fights kind of mirror each other. So he out wrestled Maximoff. Maximoff out wrestled Brundage. Brundage, first 2.5 minutes is live. But after that, I think he gets out wrestled because he has 0 gas tank.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm waiting for the prop though. I like that prop though. I mean, it's a 4 out of 5 prop. 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 is fights with the decision. I don't see Brundage winning a decision. So, and Brundage can go. So,
yeah, no, I agree. Moving on, welterweight division, we got Tim Means plus 170 versus Andre Fialho minus 200. I think this is a pretty damn close fight, to be honest. Fialho's sure he's probably got the slightly better hands, but he's also been KO'd before. He's been out grappled before. Tim Means is the more well-rounded fighter. I mean, Fialho's slightly better striking. I'm not sure how great Tim Means' takedowns are going to be because if he can get it to the ground, he's got a distinct advantage. I think the line should be closer. I think I like the over. What do you think?
I kind of like Tim Means here because I know he's lost 3 in a row. And okay, so just full disclosure, if Tim Means was like fucking 4 years younger, it's Tim Means all day, right? The age is kind of scaring me a bit because he's close to the age of 40 at his welterweight there. So that's a little bit scary, but the three losses he has: Kevin Holland, Max Griffin, Alex Morono, right? Andre Fialho fucking can't sniff that competition. Sniff it. And he's lost twice by submission and once by decision. Andre Fialho's not going to win a decision because he doesn't throw enough volume. He's not going to win a submission because frankly, I don't think he can submit Tim Means. So he's gonna have to knock him out. Knock him out is not that. I mean, Tim Means is as wobbly as he gets sometimes. He hasn't been knocked out since 2019 by Nico Price. It's a long time. But the problem is the age in the chin, right? So, and he's been through wars. I mean, I favor him as the more all well-rounded fighter. I mean, it's Fialho with the puncher's chance. I like Means as the better fighter here, just all around. And if Fialho gets tired, but I don't understand how he gets tired because he doesn't throw a lot of volume. So how is he getting tired? Like, that's my thing. So yeah, I'm gonna pick Means right now. If I find anything different by our next show on Thursday, then I'll see if I change. But yeah, I mean, I like the odds on him. And fuck, man, I wish he was 3 years young, 4 years younger, because then I'd pull the trigger for sure.
All right, last prelim of the night. I think this is actually gonna be a pretty exciting fight. We got Miles Johns versus Dan Argueta. Sorry, Miles is coming in at plus 162. Dan Argueta minus 188. I like Argueta. I love his pressure. I love his wrestling. I think this is actually a pretty close fight. I don't think he's going to be able to ragdoll Miles Johns the way he was able to do last fight. And he got screwed last fight, full disclosure. What do they call it? A no contest or something?
He beat Ronnie Lawrence, but they quick stopped it or something like that. Remember? I thought we had the underdog there.
Dude, yeah, we had Argueta, and he looked amazing in that fight. He took him down and ragdoll him like a man throwing around a child. Like I said, I'm not so sure he'll be able to do that here, but I still love like his pressure, his explosiveness. He goes right after it. His pace is so. I mean, this is I don't know. I just favor his pressure and grappling. It's pretty even matchup. Two pretty well-rounded guys. But I think Argueta is the more explosive, quicker paced, faster fighter. So I like Argueta. I'm rooting for him. What do you think?
I think that as the fight progresses, the longer it goes, Miles, his gas tank kind of like goes down. He doesn't have the greatest gas. Not that he fucking full out gases, but he does slow down as the fight goes. And Argueta, from what I've seen, is just a friggin' ball of fire. All the way from the start to the end. I mean, didn't he lose that first fight in the UFC? Who was it against? No, he lost to Damon Jackson, a decision. But he got decision by Damon Jackson. That's pretty good. That's not considering that was your first fight. And then, and then a Nick Aguirre, he beat him just like we said he would that one time. And then he got that Ronnie Lawrence step up, and he looked great in that step up. So I don't know. I think his forward pressure is going to suck the gas tank from Miles Johns, and he'll either win a decision or a late stoppage. That's what I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, moving on to the main card. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. We appreciate it. First fight of the main card, we got Charles Jourdain versus Ricardo Ramos. Jourdain's coming in at minus 138. I see Ramos at plus 110. It is a fairly even fight, I guess, to a degree. They're both pretty good. Ricardo has a lot of finishes. Charles Jourdain is definitely wants to strike. He doesn't want to grapple so much. Not that he's terrible at grappling, but that used to kind of be his kryptonite. But you know what? I feel like Jourdain's turned the corner these last few fights. Like a couple of years ago, I had zero faith in this guy. I'd probably almost always bet against him. But he's one guy who has been constantly improving. So I do favor Jourdain here in the striking, and I think his grappling has gotten competent enough that I don't think he's going to get submitted. So I think I'm gonna play Jourdain here. What do you think?
I like Ramos. I like the dog. I think he's a dog. Let me double check.
And how do you like him? What do you see him doing?
I see. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was just checking. I like him as a dog. I think he's going to be able to employ the ground game, employ like a really wrestle heavy approach to taking down Jourdain, because that was his weakness. I mean, who was it that he did? Josh Coulibaugh. I think he got a draw with him, and he was able to take him down a little bit. And as well as that, the spinning attacks from Ricardo Ramos come out of nowhere too, right? I don't see Ramos staying at range. I don't see him just trying to technically kickbox with this guy, because if that's the case, then he loses. I think he'll lose a technical kickboxing match. He's got to make it grindy. He's got to grind him, got to use the wrestling, got to use his jiu-jitsu. And I think Jourdain is susceptible to the ground game. Like you said, that used to be his kryptonite, but no, the guys he's been fighting lately haven't even tried that. against him, right? So
Gracie did.
uh, okay, somewhat tried it again. I don't know. You think those are really Gracie takedowns? They didn't look like it, to be honest with you.
Butt
And
scooting.
yeah, and no, that Gracie looked like he was like in a different league, right? I mean, the two fights prior to that was two decision losses to Nathaniel Wood and Shane Burgos, right? And
Yo, he won that Burgos fight, man.
you think he'd won that Burgos fight?
Oh yeah, I thought that was a robbery.
Yeah, and lost to Julian Rosa by submission. So I don't know. I think he's susceptible to getting taken down. I think Ramos is better than people give him credit for. Ramos was like a minus 300, 400 favorite in his last fight before that came through. The spinning back elbow is always there because he's finished 2 fights that way, I believe. So yeah, I like Ramos's ground game to just smother Jourdain.
Oh, if he gets it to the ground and can consistently get the takedowns, absolutely. I find Ricardo kind of wilts, man. When he loses, he gets finished. Like it's almost like he quits or he wilts or something. He doesn't. I don't like the way he eats shots or something, man. When he gets hit, it's just like it's over. He's just going to give up. He's going to turtle up and he's going to get. I don't know, something in him. I feel like he wilts. But if there's a clear path, if he gets the takedowns, that's the path.
Yeah, I mean, who'd he lose to? Like he lost to Zubera Tugugov. Not that great. But losses to Lerone Murphy and Said Nurmagomedov, or the other two. I mean, these are like higher level guys. I personally don't think Jourdain beats either Lerone Murphy or Said Nurmagomedov either. But he would beat the guys that Ramos is beating as well, too, right? The Journey Newsoms of the world and the Luis Gargiris. So Bill Algeo was a good win for Ramos, right? And then Danny Chavez was a decent win his last time out as well. So I do favor the competition that Ramos has been facing versus Jourdain, to be honest with you, because every time Jourdain gets some sort of step up, he always seems to falter. So I'm going to go with the grappler here.
Yeah, hey, fair enough. Moving on, we got Brian Battle versus AJ Fletcher. Battle is coming in at minus 188, Fletcher plus 162. Fletcher is going to have to shoot early and often. He's going to have to get the takedowns here to win this fight. Brian Battle, I think, should have a distinct advantage on the feet. I mean, even Garimbo was kind of wobbling Fletcher there until Fletcher finally got the takedown in the submission. And I'm not sure that Fletcher is some phenomenal wrestler. Like, I don't think he's going to be able to mimic what that Rene Fakhretdinov did to Brian Battle. I don't see that happening here. So I think this is a Brian Battle win here. I think he's going to hurt him on the feet and potentially finish this fight. What do you see?
I think that Brian Battle has the durability on his side. I also think he also has the better gas tank. So as much as he got taken down in that Renat Fakhretdinov fight, he popped back up, right? And we all know how tough Renat Fakhretdinov is, to be honest with you, based on his previous fights and his last fight. So Brian Battle just popping right back up. That shows some like durability and very good durability, to be honest with you. Now, AJ Fletcher, you could see in that Thimble Garimbo fight, the last fight he had, he was slowing down. And if Garimbo, I feel if Garimbo was a little bit less green at the time, that he might not have got caught in that submission in the second. To be honest, well, what kind of submission was it? I feel like it was a strength submission, like one of those like power guillotines. What was it again? Yeah, it was a power guillotine. See, I'll be honest with you, power guillotines, it's only the strongest of guys get those on people, right? But it's not really good jiu-jitsu, to be honest with you. It's not. The guillotine is not good jiu-jitsu. So is he going to get Brian Battle in that? I don't know. And if that fight went on, and I watched Garimbo in his last fight, I'm hard-pressed to see how long AJ Fletcher could have kept wrestling for in that fight before Garimbo sort of took over with his long, lankier legs, right? I mean, there's a lot of what-ifs, but he remember, this is the same guy that lost a decision to Angalusa and the same guy that lost a decision to Matthew Semmelsberger as well, right? And Angalusa is not as good as Brian Battle is, not chance. Semmelsberger's not bad. to be honest with you. So, yeah, I agree with you. Brian Battle, he's a more well-rounded fighter. I feel like his durability, he might lose the first round. But then you have a better live betting spot because I think there's also finish equity on Brian Battle. Because as soon as AJ Fletcher sort of like slows down, boom, boom, Brian Battle doesn't take it easy on people. So, and he's shown he has the power as well. I thought he was just a decision fighter until the last fight where he one-punched the guy. So, yeah, I'm going to go Battle.
Yep, I agree 100%. Next fight of the night, I absolutely hate this fight. We got Marina Rodrigues versus the karate hottie, Michelle Waterson. This is a rematch. This fight does not need to happen by any means. Marina Rodrigues minus 334. Don't like it. Michelle Waterson plus 250. Don't like it. I hate this fight because, hey, first of all, it happened not that long ago. And second of all, Marina Rodrigues just lost by being held down the whole fight. And that's what that's the only way Waterson wins this fight is by using her wrestling. Call her the karate hottie all you want. She's not really good on the feet. She's not going to outstrike Marina Rodrigues. I mean, her path to victory is taking her down. And can she do it? Sure, she can, but I just don't care. I don't want to see it because it's boring and it's already happened. So I think Rodrigues wins a decision again. Karate Hottie's pretty tough. I'll give her that. So I like the overs. Don't like the matchup. Don't think it's relevant. Just there's nothing. I don't know. The fight doesn't need to happen, in my opinion. What do you think?
It's not relevant. I don't need to break it. It's going to see the same thing. So Marina Rodrigues gets controlled by great wrestlers. And Karate Hottie showed in their first fight that she took her like down in the third or fourth round in that fight. She would have lost the fight by then. She still would lose. So early on, Marina's pretty good at shucking off bad. I don't find Karate Hottie a great wrestler. So, and her bad fight IQ is that she doesn't go shooting takedowns right away. She always tries to stand there. She's going to get out volumed. It's going to be a Marina decision, and they're going to give you minus 120, which is going to be shit anyways too. So. If you get any plus money on a Marina decision, I would take it, folks, because it's just going to copy this. I feel like this fight goes the same way as the last time.
Yeah, I mean, no need to break it down any further than that. Co-main event. This one's kind of tricky to predict. We got Bryce Mitchell versus Dan Ige. Bryce Mitchell coming in at minus 188. We haven't seen him in a long time since that loss to Ilia Topuria. And Dan Ige plus 162. He is coming off of the win over Nate Landwehr. So Bryce Mitchell's pulled out of his last two fights, actually. And I think that the UFC's kind of pissed off with him. So first of all, I hope he shows up to this one because he pulled out against Evlaev. He pulled out against somebody else, too. I think there's two guys he pulled out against. Let me see here. 1 second, guys. Sorry. Pulled out against Evlaev and Jonathan Pierce. And I think both guys would have beat him, to be honest. Jonathan Pierce is a very underrated fighter. So I think Pierce would have beat him up, and I think Evlaev would have out-grappled him for top position. And now we got Dan Ige here. This fight's pretty simple. It's kind of like a grappler versus striker. Not that Ige's some huge striker, but he's got the punching power, I guess. He's got the hands, and Bryce Mitchell needs to shoot the takedowns and get on top. So this is all going to come down to Ige's takedown defense, and it's shaky. It's not amazing. It's not terrible. So it's hard to say what's going to happen here. Man, it's tempting to play Ige for me. It's very tempting, but I got to look into this fight more. I got to look at his takedown defense a little bit better. But Bryce Mitchell kind of worries me. He's been out for a while. He's been pulling out. His head seems kind of weird. I used to like the guy, but I don't know how much I trust him. What do you think?
Tough choice. Ige's takedown defense actually 56%. Little skewed because Movsar Evloev took him down 9 times. Bryce has had a takedown in pretty much every single fight in the UFC. He's the only one he's lost is the Ilia Topuria fight. So if he can get him down, like Chen Sang-jung got down Dan Ige 3 times too. So it looks like in his losses that he gets taken down. In his wins, he's be able to use the striking a little bit better. So but Bryce, if he fights the way he has fought, and I tried so many ways to bet Ige here. So many, I'm like, so what if Ige does that? Everything comes down to Bryce actually does chain wrestle when he fights. He goes right after the takedown and he takes you down. He wanted no part of standing with Edson Barbosa in that one fight. He just continuously took him down. The jiu-jitsu on these guys here, like Ige, he's not going to tap Ige. He won't tap. I don't feel like he won't tap Ige. If he couldn't tap Barbosa, he's not going to tap Ige. Ige is pretty safe on the ground, but 56. I have to go with Bryce. I have to go with Bryce. I'm going to take Bryce Mitchell by decision because I don't think he taps out Dan Ige. But for the love of God, I would love if Dan Ige just punched him in the face. For the love of God, but I don't think it's going to happen.
You don't like the flat earther, eh?
Oh my God. I don't think he trains the right way, man. I just don't think he was like training in the backfields of Arkansas to go into like a local gym. Like, I'm sorry, Bryce, but you ain't gonna get up there in the upper echelon of the division training like that. You gotta step it up. And then I don't think he stepped it up. That's all. And he was gonna get left in the back burner that way, but I think his ground game's good enough to beat Ige. He's not gonna do much standing. I've seen Bryce fight. He goes for it. He goes for it. He goes for the takedown right away. He doesn't fuck around.
I think if you're on the Mitchell side, you take him and over. Him and over 1.5. It should give you plus money.
Oh, yeah. What is it? Minus 188? Yeah, for sure. That's what you'll get that. Yeah. You don't even have to go the full decision. Unless you're getting plus 200 or something on that I might just like take a stab at it. Parlay Marina Rodriguez by decision and Bryce Mitchell by decision. That's not bad.
There you go. All right. Main event of the evening. We got Rafael Fiziev, some say Fiziev, however you like to pronounce it, versus Mateusz Gamrot. This is classic striker versus grappler. Fiziev, the Tiger Muay Thai kickboxing Muay Thai instructor, versus Gamrot, who is supposed to be a phenom wrestler. But that said, Gamrot, his entries are super predictable, and I don't know, his wrestling's never super impressive to me. He's got some huge wins, phenomenal record. He's got wins over Arman Sarukian, which looks fantastic on paper. He lost that to Beneil Dariush. That was a pretty good fight. He just got through Jalen Turner, where I thought that he was going to get knocked out, to be honest, but he pulled that one out as well. He's never super dominant. Like his wins are always close fights. And Fiziev usually has shown good takedown defense. Like RDA, I think might have got him down once, but like he was stuffing the majority of the takedowns. I would have more confidence in Fiziev though if he was more of a finisher, more of a one-shot knockout guy, but he's not. He's kind of more of a point fighter or accumulation damage. Like he's not a one-shot knockout quitter. So this is a very tough fight to predict for me because I think it's going to go pretty long. And Gamrot kind of has that cardio and that long fight in him. Like he's used to going to these split decisions. I truly have no confidence in this fight. What are your initial thoughts here?
Well, no, I feel like it's going to take part on the feet because Fiziev does have a takedown defense of 90%. So, I mean, Gamrot on the feet, he's good, but he's not great. The only, thing that's holding me back from like betting hard on Fiziev is that he's shown to gas a lot in his last few fights. He gassed against Gaethje, he gassed against Bobby Green, and he was lucky to win both the Bobby Green fight, and it didn't go so well for Gaethje. So that's another thing. Gamrot's not going to gas, and those two guys I was talking about weren't going to do takedowns in like the third round and stuff like that. Not like how Gamrot might come out. So that's the only thing holding me back. Now, what are the odds here? The odds are minus 160 plus 130. Pretty much the same thing. I have a hard time picking this fight. I don't think Gamrot can use the ground game. I think it's going to be a stand-up fight, and that's why we're going to pick Fiziev. Because I just don't see him getting him down to the ground. That's it. It's pretty simple as that. Grappler versus striker. Grappler can't get down striker. Striker wins. It seems pretty simple as like, but that's what I think, man.
It's just I don't know. I kind of agree. I mean, I'm leaning the striker here for sure, but I don't think it's a fight I'd be putting a lot of money on. That's for sure. Both of them are just not dominant enough, or both have kind of had red flags in the past. Like I wouldn't be confident in either of them to go big. That's just me. But
Well, main events have been screwing me lately, right? I mean, I didn't pull the trigger on the Izzy fight when I thought Strickland had a shot, and then I pulled the trigger on the Shevchenko fight and got a draw, basically my money back.
I haven't talked to you since that. What did you think of that decision?
Ooh, what a okay, so I don't know what 10-8 round 5 they're talking about. So that's all I have to say about it. This wrong decision.
I think you can make an argument for either fighter, though.
Okay, so if Grasso won, fine. Grasso win 3-2. It would be 3-2 either way, right? There was 2 distinct rounds for each of them, and there was one toss-up round. That would be round 4 in my eyes, because round 1 was Shevchenko, round 3 was Shevchenko, round 2 was Grasso with the knockdown. Now round 4 could go either way, and then but I think Grasso did pull out round 5, even though you could even make an argument that Shevchenko won round 5 because she won 4 minutes of the round, and if she didn't give up that takedown, or like, she probably wins that fight, right?
But she did.
But she didn't. I did call Kyle Nelson by decision at plus 650, straight the fuck up there. So I said, "Oh, buddy, if it goes to decision, he might win." And that number is juicy. I didn't pull the trigger. I should put $50 million on it. But yeah, I mean, there was some good fights there too that night. So anything
All right,
else,
guys.
Dick?
Well,
Anything
these have
else?
been our early predictions here, guys. If you're new to the channel, Thursdays we drop a betting show because the props are out. We try to find our best spot for each fight. So make sure you come back. We're going to give you a bet for every single fight on the card. And guys, drop us a comment. Like these are our early predictions. We haven't done all the diligence yet. So if there's something you know, or something you really, really like or disagree with, let us know, and we'll definitely look into it further. And we'll see you Thursday with our bets and with our props. Have a good one.
Yeah.